All right, joining me now is Laura Schroff. She's the author of An Invisible Thread, which appears to be the genesis of what has now become this kind of apocryphal tale. And what is your reaction to watching this story move through a kind of internet game of telephone into politics, into the story about the kid who doesn't want a free lunch from the government?
Well, I have to say, I think the whole thing is really pretty interesting, and it is an honor to be here tonight, and I thank you for that. You know, our story, my story with Maurice, was really not about the fact that he did not want a free lunch. When I realized he was not eating, I said, we can't continue this way. I can't see you every day, so I can either give you money, which will then enable you to eat throughout the week, or if you'd prefer, I can make you lunch in a brown paper bag. Right. And I can make you lunch. And he said to me, if you make me lunch, will you put it in a brown paper bag? And I was really confused. I was like, do you want it in a brown paper bag? And he said, oh, Miss Laura, I don't want your money. I want my lunch in a brown paper bag, because when kids come to school and they have their lunch in a brown paper bag, that means someone cares about them. So,
and let's be clear, this was a choice between you giving him money and you making him a lunch in a brown paper bag.
It was not about him either going hungry, and as he would describe it quite often, if you can imagine this as an adult, it was like he was punched in the stomach. Who would ever want a child to feel like they are punched in the stomach because they're so hungry?
Your story in the book is about essentially someone who is not poor encountering the reality of a child in poverty, and all of the ways in which that affects someone who finds himself in this incredibly important point in their life developmentally, thrust into an environment of tremendous, tremendous stress.
Absolutely. You know, and for me, what I hoped the book would do would show how small acts of kindness can make an enormous difference, and how people who are fortunate are able to really help people who are less fortunate.
Did you want the? I mean, I know that you've said in interviews that I've seen you today as this thing surfaced that you did not write a political book. You don't want to be. I will ask you this though: did you want people to come away reading this book thinking, you know what, I think it's time we got rid of food stamps or cut food stamps?
It never even dawned on me. What I wanted people to come away with this book was how I met this young boy. It was an unlikely friendship, and sometimes we have these hidden blessings that are right in front of us, and if we're willing to open up our eyes and our heart, you never know what will come of it. So that's what I really kind of hoped.
What do you, having encountered this, when you look around and you see that there's 47 million Americans on food stamps, 22% of American children who are poor, what's your reaction to that?
It's heartbreaking. When you think that 1 out of 5 children are hunger deprived in this country, in a country as rich as America, that's really, really sad. When you look at the life that Maurice led as a child, there are children today that are still living like that.
Millions.
Millions. About 16 million, actually. Yeah. And so for my book to be able to be brought to the forefront, to make people become aware that this is how children are living. They're not choosing to live this way. Unfortunately, they don't have a choice.
They don't have a choice. Laura Schroff, author of An Invisible Thread. Thanks so much for coming by today. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We are